Hello, everybody. So, Miss Osborne suggested that for the Rainbow Reading Committee, if we wanted to share our own stories that we have made, and one of the ways you can do that is through StoryBird. So, I shared one of the stories that I made. It's called The Little Chick, and it's just super adorable because you basically write the story, and StoryBird provides the artwork. So, I kind of wanted to show you how that worked, so you can kind of get an idea of it. The one thing I will mention is I first made this story in 2012, which was 9 years ago. So in 2012, StoryBird did not cost. Now, sadly, you have to get a membership. It's like $8.99 a month. So you either have to pay for it so you can get access to the artwork, or when you sign up, you'll get a 7-day free trial. So if you want, kind of like, when you get like a Netflix or Hulu trial, you could just like make a bunch of stories in 7 days and then record them. So that's a couple of options. It's still a really great program if you want to spend the money on it. I highly recommend it. The artwork is so adorable. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to sign up for your 7-day free trial. And then if you want from there, you can get a membership. So you're going to obviously do student or individual. And then this is just you signing up for it. Alrighty. So now I'm signed in, and you can see that I have a six days left of my trial. This is my dashboard, so this is kind of what it looks like. And so you can just kind of scroll down. You can see your writing challenges, recent writing, progress, all of that fun stuff. And then you can also read stories on StoryBird, which is a lot of fun. So when you want to write a book, you're just going to go up here to write. You can see that there is a couple different options. It's honestly kind of similar to Wattpad, which a lot of people use. But for the purposes of this, we want to do you could do a long form story if you want, but I'm going to go with picture book since we're working with kids. Then you can see here we have all of our artwork, and there are literally tons and tons and tons of artwork to choose from, which is a lot of fun. So this is like the style of it, and then once you click on it, it'll have even more artwork to choose from. So let's go with this one. This one looks super cute. So you can see here you have all your different artwork to choose from, kind of along this story line here. So super cool. And then what you're going to do is, this is the cover page. So you're going to add a title. And you can see down here, this is my username. But like, let's say you want to use your first name, or you have like whatever name you use for writing, you can just like change it. You just click on the box and then you can just change it. This is the name I usually use when I'm writing stories. That's I forget what it's called, but I'm gonna use that one. So you don't have to, like, my username is Yogi. So if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. And then you can just add a title to it. I'm gonna call it Bob's Lunch. Obviously, this is an example, so if you want to make something a little bit more creative, you can instead of Bob's Lunch. And then if you go down here, this is gonna kind of be the order of your story. So you can go, this is classic view, you can do landscape view, journal view, there's a whole bunch of different backgrounds that you can choose from there, which is super fun, kind of along the themes of Bob's Lunch. And then you can also do iconic view, which is just different colors, and then you have different symbols that you can choose over here on the side where my cursor is. So I'm going to do some cheese because it's Bob's Lunch. So then if you come down here back to your like dash bar little section, you can go over here to your first page, and then that's when you can start writing. So you can draw pictures wherever you want. You can go like this, or you can go over here. You can do it bigger. You can do it over here. You can do it bigger. So there's a lot of different options there for you of what you want to do. And then you just put your picture in here. I'm going to use this one. This will be Bob, I think this is a raccoon. is the one I chose. And then what you do is you just click on here, wherever your text box is. When you add your picture, you can see that white part, and then that's going to be how much room you have with writing. So like if you're going to have a page with a lot of writing, you may want to make it a little bit smaller. So then you can write whatever you want. So Bob was hungry and decided to make some lunch. Just know that the more you type, the smaller the words are going to get. So that's why, like I mentioned, you may want to do it wider so you have more room to type. And then you can also change the font if you want. You can see there's a whole bunch of different font options here. I think this is Times New Roman. I'm not quite sure. That part's not. Like I said, this has changed a lot since I first used it, so I don't think you were allowed to change the font 9 years ago, guys, which makes me seem and feel really old. So there's Arial you can do. I don't know how to pronounce that one. You could do that one. It's up to you. And then you do another page. You just kind of click over here, page 2. And here's the time. It was hungry o'clock or something. I don't know. The options are, like I said, if you're like dedicated to this, you're obviously gonna like make the sentences a lot more profound than it was hungry o'clock. And then if you want to add pages, you just come click over here to the add arrow, and then you can see there's the third page, and you can add your page. You can also do a full page of writing if you want. Like, he took out the trash, or I don't know, whatever you want to do. It's really fun to play around on. So, and 7 days is honestly like, if you don't have any school to do a day, and you've like 5 or 7 hours, you can make like a bunch of books. It's like super fun. I'll log into my other account here in a minute if you want, and I can like show you a story, whatever. But you just keep typing, and you can also, one more thing I will show you that you can do. Like, let's say you're like, oh, this makes more sense somewhere else. You can move locations of a story's page. So now this is page 1, this is page 2, and so on. So it's a lot of fun to play around on, and it's a great way to make stories, because then if you're like, oh my word, I feel like I'm a terrible drawer, then you have the option to use other drawings, and it's like out here, kind of like any book really, where you're allowed to like use this drawings. Like, obviously you're gonna be professional publisher, you'd have to do like copyright information or whatever, but you're allowed to use it, and so it's super cool, and the drawing's just beautiful on here. It's so sweet and it's so cute. And then what you can also do, like let's say you're like, I don't know if this looks good, you can come up here and preview it, and it's going to pull up a new tab. And then this is how I recorded my story. I just did like a screen share of it, and then I just like clicked through here, and I could see, oh, it's so cute. And then you can also just like use the arrows on your computer. Be like, oh, and it says the end, and it's like, oh, it's so cute, oh my word. And so it's super awesome. And then when you're ready to finish your book, obviously as you're working on it, you're going to want to save it so you don't lose your wonderful work. And then when you're finally finished with it and you add enough pages, let's say like, I'm going to add one more page, a final page. Oh, he's had his lunch, he feels so amazing. Then you're going to click save and exit, and it's going to have all the stuff that you need to do. So you can publish your story. When you publish your story, though, you have like a review ticket thing, and I don't know exactly how that works. It's new, but then like I think someone here it says I can click learn more. That may be helpful. Okay, so basically you can use a review ticket, and then you can publish it, and then other people's can read your story. Obviously, if you're like, I don't want anyone to see this, then you don't have to publish it. You can also even do it privately, and then only you know it. So you have that option if you want to. When you're the free trial, I think you only have like 3 review tickets you can use. But if you do decide you're like, oh my word, best story of my life and you want to publish it, you just click privately or you click publicly. And then it'll ask you to do all these details of the language you want. And then you can do a summary. This is a story about Bob eating. But let's say you don't want to publish it because you're like, I don't really want it out there, privacy reasons. Then what you can do is you can just click go to dashboard. And you will, so I'm back here on my dashboard, and you can see it's popped up down here in my dashboard. Then all I have to do is click on it to edit it, and then I can obviously preview it and be able to see it. So if you do not want, you don't have to publish it. And that's what I did with my story because I honestly, didn't really want it out there. I didn't want to, figure out the whole thing about publishing. So that's what you do. And then when you're ready to write something else, go back up to writing. Create another picture book. Maybe you want to do a comic this time. I've not looked at the comics, guys. There's a lot of cool stuff on here that 9 years ago Emily did not know about, which is super cool. So maybe you're like, let's make a comic for them. And you're like, oh, this is so awesome. So play around with it. That's kind of how it goes. Like I said, if you want some inspiration, you can even read stories. Look at all these wonderful little books that people have made. It's so amazing. And then that is StoryBird. So if you decide that you want to write your own story to share with our lovely rainbow readers, that's how you do it. And have a great day, everyone.